A key element of the chaotic path is walking that intersection, that space where chaos and order come together. The chaotic stepping stones help us walk through that space, to work in that area, that intersection between chaos and order, which it's challenging work. It's not easy work, but it is where we can really do our best work. It's where leadership really emerges. So the first thing in the chaotic stepping stones is this issue of needs.
The greatest gift of it is that when you are clear with a little group of people, collectively clear of the need and what you're wanting to do is needed, and there is a purpose, you can rally people around, then you're allowing everybody to be part of what really matters, no matter what their actual work will be in manifesting it. You know, actual purpose comes from old Indo-European language, from por, means fire. So it's meeting around what really matters. What is the fire in the middle?
Clarity, the source of all action. When you know what you're about and what you're going to do, you just go do it. It's like a shortcut.
Then it becomes really important to think about what are the principles you're going to operate under.
If you imagine the perfect V of the geese flying in the V, and there are some underlying principles that allows them to fly in that really efficient way. And so we said, well, what are the principles that allow us to fly like a flock of geese fly naturally? That's a very powerful part of that chaotic stepping stones as well, is to really think through how do we allow the principles to operate as a complex adaptive system.
Then you can begin to think about who needs to be in the room, who's not here, whose voices are missing.
I think a lot of strategic planning process, traditional ones, are pretty sterile. People rush to solutions first without building that sense of relationship and understanding their clear purpose and need. But I think these get to deeper questions.
Once this work is done, then we can begin to work on concept. What's our work going to look like? What are kind of the ideas we have available to us to think forward? And of those kinds of ideas, which is the one we're going to choose? One of the things that we step into to take a really good look at are limiting beliefs. We might have beliefs about where ideas come from, cultures, people, capacities, and so we start to limit the voices in the room. And we never stop to question them. We just assume that these beliefs that limit us are valid. And so chaotic stepping stones asks us to really dive into questioning the assumptions and the old patterns that we're holding on to. We have such a human tendency to want to step into structure first. What's the budget we have to work with? How often are we going to meet? And oftentimes when we do that, we forget to step back and get real clear about what's the work we want to get done, what's the real need we're working on, and what's the purpose of this project or this meeting or this activity.
If you really savor the wisdom of the stones and that they are clear and they are worked authentically, then each of the stones before will help the next stone to be more clear. If you don't have the clarity of the need and purpose, then you will craft your principles a little bit in a vacuum. Then who should gather, you don't really know, because there's no strange attractor in the middle. The chaotic stepping stones is the way of awakening to work in wholeness, not just as an idea. And therefore many arguments and many sidetrackings and many setbacks are circumvented. They don't even seem to happen because you're walking with clarity.